We begin with breaking news here at 11, a story we first broke on WHAS11.com tonight. The man accused of beheading his own father in southern Indiana continues to harm himself in the jail. The prosecutor now wants him moved, and Bryce Winicki's attorney supports the move. It is a new development in this gruesome case. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Doug Proffitt. You saw the 33-year-old just yesterday right here entering the courtroom for his arraignment. Winicki with a huge wound on his head, a large swollen knot right there. The jail staff told the court it was self-inflicted. In the request to transfer him filed today, prosecutor Jeremy Mole of Clark County says Winicki has slammed his head into the wall or floor of the jail cell on multiple occasions, resulting in the need for medical care. He also says Winicki has demonstrated violent or aggressive behavior that poses a substantial threat to himself. Jeremy Mole wants him moved from the Clark County Jail and into the custody of Indiana Department of Corrections for safekeeping. Winicki is charged with beheading his father, Eric. As you know, his body was found inside his home on Summerlin Place just last Friday. I talked with Larry Wilder, Bryce Winicki's attorney, tonight, and he sent us this statement, quote, "Bryce's safety is important to everyone, and the state's request seems to be a legitimate expression of their concern as well." IDOC, Indiana Department of Corrections, would be any of the correctional institutions across the state equipped to provide him with the safest environment for the circumstances he is facing. The IDOC is better positioned to address Bryce's situation at present. There's a hearing tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll be covering it.
All in favor of the motion presented?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay.
Huge crowd, and with that, the sunset on solar happening tonight with this vote in southern Indiana, and only the WHAS 11 night team is there again, covering it all for you. Get this, it's the fourth proposed solar farm in Clark County and Jefferson County, Indiana, that has now been defeated. Harnessing the power of the sun has certainly brought storm clouds between Hoosiers and rural Clark County. Many folks tonight talking about their community morals and how they want to preserve their land for future generations. WHAS 11 News again is the only station covering tonight's huge meeting and vote. The night team's Jose Alonso has been speaking with both sides on this issue. And Jose, are they against powering homes with solar, or is this a different argument?
Doug, these Hoosiers tell me they're not against commercial solar like installing panels on your house, but are against industrial solar to power businesses. After 2 years of reworking their plans, Florida-based company Bright was given a stern no on transforming farmland into solar farms. The power of the sun will live on as free energy not capitalized in Clark County, Indiana.
Difference of opinion.
It is. It's, and we're still neighbors.
A packed out room at the Clark County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting where the Florida-based company Bright plan to rezone farmland came to an end.
All the people here in red shirts, we're not financially gaining anything from this. The other side put a lot of effort into it. They had a lot of financial gain involved. For us, this was purely about protecting our community.
But for property owners wanting to lease their land to capture the sun's rays, like Sophia's schemes, are let down.
I'm hopeful that that we are still able to push through another project, just because it's, in my opinion, it's better for the environment. Than having panels is better than spraying all the chemicals.
This was a heavy decision for the board, but in the end, they voted to deny this application by a 3-2 vote on the basis of property values, traffic impact, morals, and division of community.
We've put years into this, and to be disappointed hurts, and at times you say things you don't want to say.
On the same day, President Donald Trump releasing a statement via Truth Social about renewable energy, saying in part, quote, "We will not support wind or farmer destroying solar." And on Monday, the Secretary of the USDA stated they will no longer deploy programs to fund solar or wind projects on productive farmland.
I think it's the right action. If solar was so great, then it should be able to stand on its own. And I think our ag property, our ag ground, our food production is much more important.
Although the community looks and feels divided, there's hope they can still respect each other and see the bright side of community.
I hope we're still going to be friends. This is Sophia Skeens. She was on the other side of it. I've known her my entire life, and I actually used to farm part of the ground that this was a part of.
The division was also clear on the board, as 2 members who say they've worked on this process for years voted yes to this application, while the others, which included a newly appointed member, voted no. We asked Bright Knight representatives and the president of the board for interviews on this vote. Both declined to comment. Reporting live in studio, Jose Alonso, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
Wow, amazing comments there. Thank you very much, Jose. Now tonight, 2 former Metro police officers involved in the Breonna Taylor police raid 5 years ago now are facing lesser charges today. Federal Judge Charles Simpson in Louisville has now dismissed the most serious felony charge against them. They faced a possible maximum sentence of life in prison. We're talking about Joshua Janes and Kyle Meany. They were charged with violating Taylor's rights in March of 2020. Prosecutors said they lied in the original search warrant that led officers to her home that night, resulting in the fatal police raid. Taylor was killed when officers on the scene returned fire after Taylor's boyfriend fired a shot at them as they came through her door. Kenneth Walker claims they did not announce themselves as police first. But in his ruling, Judge Simpson writes that a violation of a warrant clause cannot be attributed to Taylor's death. Simpson also saying that when police returned fire that night, it was not excessive force, but within their rights, that it was legal and tragic crossfire not initiated by police, that he writes. Janes and Meany are still facing lesser charges connected to this case. Right here tonight, a former city employee is suing Louisville Metro government for alleged gender discrimination and retaliation. The lawsuit was filed by a woman named Jessica Thornton. She says that she was fired for bringing up several concerns that her male coworkers received significantly higher salaries for less work. She told the news supervisor that the pay gap was based on gender discrimination, but he said it was based upon years of service, which she argues is against the department's practice. This is not the first lawsuit against Louisville Metro government. The former deputy mayor, Keisha Dorsey, was fired in 2024 after they say she had a pattern of misconduct and job performance issues. Right here tonight, a 16-year-old boy has been arrested after allegedly killing a teenager back in June this year. He is charged with murder and possession of a handgun by a minor. Now, this arrest is in connection with the June 2023 homicide. It happened on Ridgecrest Avenue in the Newburgh neighborhood on June 23rd. A teenage boy died at the scene. Right here, new in Kentucky, 4 people are in jail tonight after a deadly home invasion in Lebanon, Kentucky. That's just over an hour away south of Louisville. Now, these are the 4 people who've been arrested. Left to right, they are 32-year-old Tyler Gunn. He's charged with murder and robbery. 18-year-old Allison Livers, 36-year-old Joshua Spalding Wells, and 18-year-old Faith Singer are charged with complicity to murder and robbery. When officers arrived, they found 48-year-old Stephanie Keeling dead at a home on Hourigan Lane in Lebanon. Officials believe the 4 entered the house and held those inside at gunpoint, and that's when Gunn shot Keeling, according to police. Bardstown police made the arrest. Kentucky State Police say this appears to be a targeted home invasion and that there is no current threat to the public. Right here tonight, a big development in a cold case in southern Indiana after a discovery by ICE. After 12 years, a suspect in a double homicide from Clarksville, Indiana, is heading back to the state after being held at an ICE facility down in Georgia. Ian Hardwitt reports on this lengthy investigation.
This was a brutal double murder.
DNA evidence connects Carlos Alberto Bonilla Caninguez to the murder of his 2 roommates on October 9th, 2013, according to Clarksville Police Chief Nathan Walls.
Well, DNA is important because it was a match for the murder weapon, and it was also a match under fingernails of the victim, so that would help lead to a struggle.
A detective from the department went down to Georgia, collecting the DNA sample from Bonilla Caninguez at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility better known as ICE. He was bound for deportation to El Salvador, but will now be extradited to Indiana, facing 2 murder charges. Clarksville police suspected Bonilla Caninguez nearly the whole time. His name was flagged for the crime when ICE looked him up.
It's a career case for detectives. It's the kind of thing that if you're not able to get closure on, it's the kind of thing that could eat at you down the road.
But 12 years ago, police say Bonilla Caninguez lived here on Randolph Avenue. Clarksville Fire Department believed the fire was intentionally set in the kitchen where the 3 men lived. But Bonilla Caninguez currently faces just 2 counts of murder. One roommate, police said, was stabbed over 100 times. ICE did not respond to our emailed questions about Benio Caniguez. We asked if he was specifically targeted and what his current immigration status is. A 2022 study of Texas crime data from 2012 to 2018, funded by the Department of Justice's research agency, found that undocumented immigrants are arrested at less than half the rate of native-born U.S. citizens for violent and drug crimes. This break in the cold case, thanks to the call from ICE, reassured Kelly Berry's decision to buy the house across the street from the 2013 double murder.
That people who know what they're doing are diligent enough with the knowledge that they have and the technology that they have in order to make this neighborhood as safe as possible. So if anything, I feel better about the neighborhood and already felt pretty good about it.
With the cold case thawing, it brings a renewed hope for justice to Randolph Avenue. I'm Ian Hardwitt for the WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
And Chief Wall says that with improvements in technology, this proves that no case goes entirely cold these days. Right here noon tonight, a Southern Indiana massage parlor owner is arrested for alleged corrupt business practices. 62-year-old Yanghua Fang Thrasher of Louisville was arrested tonight, and this comes after a month-long police investigation. In February of this year, Indiana State Police received reports of alleged illegal activity at the Asian massage business in Sellersburg, Indiana. After months of investigating, police say Thrasher allegedly stole nearly $17,000 in unpaid state and county taxes. Right here, also new on the night team, the original firehouse in Vine Grove, Kentucky of Hardin County caught fire on Tuesday. It's unclear how the fire started. The Vine Grove mayor, Pam Ogden, says they are grateful for the assistance provided by the American Red Cross and volunteers from other agencies. The building was severely damaged, and the 1941 antique fire truck inside was lost in the blaze.